Hi guys, so today Donald Trump and Keir Starmer signed a UK-US trade deal. Now it must be remembered that right after Brexit there was huge pressure on the UK government to sign an accord of some sort, but it went nowhere during the first Trump administration, and under Joe Biden, the US was simply not interested. Trump, who's desperate for some good news or a sort of win, perhaps got that today as he spoke to the British Prime Minister by phone, as you'll see here. Some of the very vague details that are coming out could be a win for both sides, which is a little puzzling. The devil will always be in the detail, but this could be the boost that Starmer and Trump both need.
Once again, I want to thank Prime Minister Starmer. He's been terrific for his partnership in this matter, the special relationship and external bond. It's really an external and an internal bond between our two countries will soon be stronger than ever before. And we really do. We have a great relationship. I want to just say that the representatives of UK have been so professional. And it's been an honor doing business with all of them, and in particular the Prime Minister. And I'd like to introduce him now to say a few words. Mr. Prime Minister, please take it away.
Thank you, Mr. President, Donald. And this is a really fantastic, historic day in which we can announce this deal between our two great countries. And I think it's a real tribute to the history that we have of working so closely together. Can I pay tribute, Donald, to your negotiating team as well, particularly yes. Howard and Jameson, who've done an incredible job, a very professional job, and my team as well. Two negotiating teams have worked at pace now for a number of weeks.
Two negotiating teams have worked at pace now for a number of weeks to bring in this deal today. Really important deal. This is going to boost trade between and across our countries. It's going to not only protect jobs but create jobs, opening market access. And as you say, Donald, the timing couldn't be more apt, because not only was it 80 years ago today that victory came for Europe after and at the end of the Second World War, but of course on that day the UK and the US stood together as the closest of allies. And Donald, I think you may or may not know that it was about this time of day, exactly 80 years ago, that Winston Churchill announced victory in Europe, and that led to great celebrations across Europe, across America, but particularly in the United Kingdom. Literally people going out into the street, putting bunting up, going up to the palace. And so to be able to announce this great deal on the same day, 80 years forward, almost at the same hour, and as we were 80 years ago, with the UK and the US standing side by side, I think is incredibly important and makes this truly historic.
Okay, let's ignore the flowery language. Okay, look, what I think this is about, and this is speculation, this is just pure speculation, but it's based on some of the things that Donald Trump has been saying so far. Now, Keir Starmer and his administration before this have said, look, the NHS will not be on the chopping block. We're not going to reduce our standards. We're not going to import hormone-treated beef and chlorinated chicken. We'll have to wait and see if that's actually part of it. But I think the way this has worked out could benefit both sides. And once again, this is speculation. It's about security. The UK wants to increase military spending. Donald Trump wants countries around the world, especially members of NATO, to buy more American equipment. So it's possible that Starmer has said, look, you lower the tariffs on us and we'll buy more American hardware, military hardware. So this would benefit Trump because he'd be able to say, look, I've done a deal with the UK. We forced them to buy more of our stuff. It's not, these large cars, or it won't be hormone-treated beef. As far as I know, and this is my speculation, of course, and this could change, but they're not buying this stuff. They're not buying this crap. They're buying our military hardware. So we're going to have contracts between the MOD and US manufacturers of arms, because the UK wants to increase its military spending. It's going to ramp up to 2.5% of GDP. So this is something So this is something that Starmer can sell to the public. He can say, look, I done a deal with Donald Trump. The Tories couldn't do that. Once again, this is speculation. Just let me clarify that. But I done a deal with Donald Trump. The Tories couldn't. And I didn't sacrifice the NHS. I didn't sacrifice our standards. So what we're going to do is we're going to buy military hardware, which we already do, from the US. We're going to buy more. We're not going to buy from Europe. This could be something that Trump was offered. The UK will work on military hardware closer with the US than it will with Europe, which has some issues. And Donald Trump is able to sell this deal to his public, saying, look, I've done a deal. I forced the UK into a negotiating position. I forced them to the table, and they are buying our stuff. So I don't know if this will be the deal. Because we don't know any details yet. But if you think about what Donald Trump has been saying over the last number of months, he said that he wants to see NATO members increase military spending, and his defense secretary has said that you have to buy American stuff. So the UK is increasing its military spending, and it wants to reduce tariffs. So what can you offer Donald Trump? Well, you say, we'll buy more of your stuff. But we're not going to buy hormone-treated beef. We're not going to allow you access to the NHS. But we will buy your military hardware. So if Donald Trump is desperate for something, he may go along with that. Now, Peter Mandelson has said this is the beginning of something. So it's not clear whether the NHS could be talked about later on, but this is perhaps the first step in a long process. Now, I don't know if this is a good thing. I don't know if this is a bad thing. We'll have to wait and see. And I think it's correct to be honest about this. If it's a good deal for Britain, then we should call it a good deal. But we'll have to wait and see. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.